1.5 lakh. That's the amount some students are spending just to learn AI and machine learning. Not because they need it, but just in case. And that just in case it's expensive. Because once you spend that amount of money, your brain will start defending that data. You will convince yourself you needed that power, even if you didn't. So before you choose a laptop, before you compare GPUs, VRAM and benchmarks, there's something you need to figure out first. If you get that wrong, even a 3 lakh laptop won't fix it. Hello, my name is Amnish and I've done my masters in data science and statistics, and I've been reviewing laptop for the past 5 years. And in this video, I'm going to break down when an expensive laptop actually makes sense and when it doesn't. Because this field isn't just one kind of work. There are 3 different paths that most students don't even know exist. By the end of this video, you will know exactly where you fall and whether that expensive laptop makes sense for you or not. So let's start with what most people actually begin with. When people say they want to go into AI and machine learning, they imagine building massive system. But that's not where you start. You start with the data. Messy CSV files, tables that don't match, missing values, weird outliers. You're cleaning, joining, transforming, and visualizing. Think Pandas, Python, Power BI, Excel, and Jupyter. You are asking simple but very powerful question. When did it happen? Why does it happen? And what might happen next. This kind of work most data scientists spend their time doing, analyzing data, finding insights, building practical models. And for this stage, a GPU does almost nothing for you. Your bottleneck isn't the graphic power, it's how fast you can load data, how quickly can you run transformations, and how smooth is your day-to-day workflow. For that, you need a solid multi-core CPU, at least 16GB of RAM, a fast SSD, not a 5400 RPM hard drive. That's old age. And that's it. In India, this kind of machine sits anywhere between 55,000 to 70,000 price range. If your work is mostly data analysis, small to medium dataset, spending 1.2 and 1.5 lakh on a GPU heavy machine is just burning gas. Many people stay at this stage for months and even for years, and that's completely fine. Because this is where the actual solid foundation is built. And this is where most students actually make mistake. They buy the laptop for the next stage even before they actually reached it. Because once your work becomes heavier and complex, the hardware conversation changes completely. Now the next stage is where things get actually interesting and also serious. This is when you are no longer just analyzing data. You are building full machine learning systems from the ground up. You are creating pipelines that collect data, clean it, and prepare it properly before it even reaches the model. You are building the models themselves, like neural networks, language models, or decision-based systems. And this is where hardware starts to matter, because bigger data takes longer to process. A deeper model needs more memory, and your laptop might start slowing down. You might run into memory limits. You begin paying attention to how much GPU memory you have. Training is no longer instant. It becomes a cycle of try, test, wait, and adjust. And this is the kind of work ML engineers usually do. They build systems, improve models, and make them more accurate, and sometimes prepare them for the real-world applications. At this stage, stronger hardware actually helps. Faster training means you can test more ideas, and testing more ideas helps you learn faster. But here's the important part. You don't start here. You grow into this stage. And when you reach this stage, you will start to feel that your project needs more and more power. Your laptop is starting to feel slow, and that's when investing in a powerful laptop actually makes sense. So if you are not building full systems yet, you haven't achieved this level yet. And that's completely fine, because not everyone working in AI is spending their time building heavy systems. Because there is another group that focuses more on using AI rather than building and training it, and their hardware need looks very different. And this is where most students actually fall. And that's what we need to talk about next. So in the next stage, you are not spending most of your time training giant models from scratch. Instead, you are building smart systems using models that already exist. And this is what AI engineers and Gen AI engineers usually do. They work on tool integration. This means allowing AI models to connect to outside tools like APIs, databases, or even web search. Instead of knowing everything in advance, the AI can fetch information when it needs it. They manage memory. This means building systems where the AI remember past conversation, store useful information, and keep context during longer tasks. They also build AI agents that can plan, execute tasks, and interact with tools autonomously. And a big part of that work is prompt engineering. That means carefully writing instructions so the AI behaves correctly. And sometimes they even build systems where AI checks its own answers and improve them. And once these systems are ready, AI engineers handle production development. They test the system, debug errors, monitor performance, and make sure everything everything works properly when real users start using it. And here's the important part. Most of this work does not require you to train heavy models from scratch. You are usually using APIs of powerful models that are already trained. Your focus is on designing, connecting, testing, and improving systems. So for this stage, what matters more is a strong processor, enough RAM, and a stable machine. Sometimes a mid-range GPU helps for running models locally, but usually you don't need the kind of heavy GPU required for large-scale training. And here's where it gets interesting. As the systems gets more and more complex, your question also changes. You started talking about speed, cost, control. You begin asking questions like, should I fine-tune my own model instead of using an API, or should I optimize my systems to run faster locally? And this is where a big shift happens. At what stage does an AI engineer becomes an ML engineer, and when does building the systems turns into training the models? And that's not a simple answer. And that's a topic for the next video. If this helped you understand where you stand right now, make sure you do subscribe the channel. Here we don't just talk about the laptops, we talk about the stage, growth, and how to match the hardware to the level you are actually working with. And in the next video, we'll break down exactly when that shift happens and how to know if you are ready or not.